Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Enderal. Now, when we left off, we had just arrived back in the Sun Temple after helping out Lashari. I still get mixed up between those two names for some reason. But I suppose I am basically Constantine Firespark, aren't I? Yes, I get mixed up with names. Anyway, yes, we helped that woman, the woman that cast the ritual on us, in that cave system to save some stones, some magical stones, and now we are here speaking to TEALOR ARANTHEAL, and we are going to listen to the rest of what he has to say.
Already know who I am.
Have you heard?
My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul ARANTHEAL. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nehrim. I still do not know why he spared me.
Whoa, okay. Wow, this is very, very intense, is it? Is it not? Yes. If Narazul was your son, why did he hate the gods so much? Shouldn't he have been, I don't know, devoted to them? Or, we could say, so the Lightborn are really dead, if you, the Order of the Gods, acknowledge that fact. Why do people not know about it? Well, I'm going to say the other one, because I'd like to know more about the son.
There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story, which we won't discuss now.
Oh, it's a long story which we won't discuss now. Of course. Okay, well, anyway. So, yes, why do the people not know about the Lightborn being dead?
Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good, even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind.
Well, he's trusting us with a lot of information here, isn't he? I mean, yes, of course, we did help Lashari. Lashari? I'm still trying to remember. I don't even know. Well, anyway, yes, we did help Lashari in the cave system, so I suppose that has proven our trustworthiness, I suppose, as well as being somewhat strangely auraed or something along those lines. But anyway, let's continue and say, but you managed to free yourself.
Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nehrim, I also had them for the first time, the dreams.
Oh, he's leaving. Oh, okay, let me, wait for me. I need to hear what you're saying. No, I hope he doesn't continue talking while I'm loading. That would not be good. I mean, like, you know, how a game character would just be like, oh, I'm just going to continue talking while the player is loading. Yeah, I'm just going to troll. But anyway, yes, we're going to see what he has to say. I'm kind of a bit weirded out that he left. I thought that we were going to stay there and be comfortable in the temple.
I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me.
Ooh, okay. An acolyte of your son? Well, wait a minute. That's going to be Constantine, isn't it? That's going to be Constantine, or it's going to be Yeah, it's gonna be Constantine, I'm pretty sure. An acolyte of your son? But weren't they your enemies then?
Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory.
Shared memory? You mean the dreams originate from a common mind? A hive mind? Oh, I'm being pushed! What? How dare you, guard? Get out of here.
A collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans.
Ah, there we go, of an old ancient civilization, of course. Thus the excavations like in old Rashengrad. What did you find out?
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end.
Whoa, I see. Aha. Okay, so this has a couple of, shall we say, similarities to other games, storylines, but I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued. Hundreds of prophets have predicted the end of the world, and it never happened. Or we can say, I admit that this world has seen brighter days, but isn't this a little too much of a leap? Or we can say, you mean that the end of humanity lies ahead. Or we can ask for more. Please, sir, may I have some more? Yes, anyway. And we can ask a pattern? You mean that the chronicles of each civilization are identical? Or so this is your explanation for the Red Madness, the wars?
Yes, dramatically put, they're the envoys of the end.
I see. Okay, well, let's go back. And I'm gonna, which option do we think is going to be giving us the best? Yes. You mean that the end of humanity lies ahead?
Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably you do at this moment. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They, too, ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing.
Okay, well, the Pyreans knew about this threat. Why didn't they try to do something about it? I mean, they were very powerful, apparently.
They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak.
How in blazes can entire civilization just disappear?
That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly.
Whoa, something extremely powerful must have been able to do that. I mean, really, that is pretty impressive. Anyway, and where do I come in? Where do these visions and my powers come from? I thought it said man flowers, for example, for a minute there, yes.
Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well.
Characters recur?
Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet.
What? Oh, the reveal is very, very intriguing. I don't even know what to make of this. Does a prophet make a good amount of money? I would like to buy some good spell books. Well, anyway, I'm supposed to be a prophet?
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly.
Oh, wow. And I take it that this is the reason the Nehrimese mages are here, isn't it? Firespark, Pegast, and Sharim. And why me of all people? If I play a role, does that mean that something is controlling me? Controlling us? Well, I don't know. Okay, why me of all people?
I do not know. Firespark the mage has told me your story. And even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your change. So maybe everyone can become an emissary, or we simply have not understood the pattern yet.
Well, I don't even know. Maybe I think it's probably just fate, isn't it? It's the one, isn't it? Oh, yes. Well, anyway, if I play a role, does that mean that something is controlling me? Controlling us?
No. As I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice.
I see. And what defines this prophet?
On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future.
Into the past and therefore into the future? What do you mean? Well, obviously we know about the dream or the nightmare that we had at the very beginning, and we also did see the two apothecary be killed by the bandits, so I suppose that's what he means, isn't it?
Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help.
And if all this doesn't interest me, I would like money. I don't know why I say that, but yes. Anyway, we have to save the entirety of humanity. We can't worry about money right now, can we? Ah, well, this is not a decision I want to make based on a gut feeling, no. What's in it for me if I help you? Haha, yeah. Why do you think that we can overcome this cycle in the first place, after hundreds of civilizations have failed?
That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die?
Well, that's actually true. That is actually very true. He's got me there. He's got me there. Anyway, alright, if I can help, I will try to do so.
Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test. A trial.
Okay, well, Yes, it is necessary. I'm not going to ask that. It is necessary. If he wants us to join his order, then we're going to join it. What kind of test?
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival.
Well, who are the 2 novices? I would assume that novice Elia is probably one of them, right? I haven't, isn't it? I don't even know.
I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself.
Ah, okay. Well, very well. Where can I find them?
At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
That is... I don't even know. That is a really, really cool quest. Thank you very much, ARANTHEAL. And we're now, apparently, going to be heading on to meet with Signet leader Jorek Bartar and the 2 novices. Now, of course, I would like to take a look and see how much money I actually have. 310 gold, yes. I'm going to hope that I actually get some... Yes, get some interest soon, but what I am going to do is I'm going to sort out my inventory a little bit. I'm going to have to head to a secure... Oh, hello, Lashari. Lashari, yes, Lashari.
Huh?
How did you end up in Narazul's ARANTHEAL's order?
Now look at that. Someone who's actually interested in us as people, rather than in our knowledge about the Pyreans. But it's your lucky day. I really wouldn't mind a good talk right now. Hold on a second. Arizalian brandy. Vintage 8214. What do you say? A glass and a good talk? There are a couple of things I wanted to ask you anyway.
Oh, okay. Are we actually... Are we getting involved here? Are we getting involved? I don't know, but sounds good to me.
All right, then.
Oh, when it fades to black, we know things are happening. Where are we actually going? Are we going into a house of some sort? Or in the tavern? Yes. We're going to the tavern, aren't we? Yes. Well, there we have it. There's a lot of exposition there.
When I hear you say that, I don't regret for a second that I never came back to Ostian. Even though I've thought about it from time to time.
You're from Ostian? You look more like a Skarag to me.
Wow. Finally, someone who says it up front. Yeah, I've got some Skarag blood in me, though comparably little in regards to how much it shows. My grandfather, he used to serve in the South Realms Marines. And one day they captured a ship of Skarag raiders, some of them women. Stories say he fell in love with one of them, and... yeah, you can connect the dots. But to answer your original question, yes, I'm from Ostian. Though we fled the city around 10 years ago. The right choice, as I probably don't need to tell you. The temple was always a bunch of fanatical fuckheads, but that bastard High Priest Janus gave the word butcher an entirely new meaning.
Oh, I see. So, one more thing about your ancestry. Do you know anything more about that woman your grandfather fell in love with? That's not an everyday story.
I know. And, nah, I hardly know anything about her. Only that they were raiders, and that she fled about 2 years after giving birth to me. Poor Grandpa. You should have seen how people reacted to the way I looked. Even as a kid, they always looked at me and my almond-shaped eyes as if they were expecting me to pull out a skull fetish any second and start putting curses on anyone in the vicinity.
Well, wait a minute. Well, the Creator's religion was always brutal in its core. Janus only did what the high priests before him had too many qualms about. I'm not too surprised at what Janus did. Give someone too much power and they show their real face. I suppose so.
Maybe. Warriors of the Creator. War against the infidels. The Creator's children don't even sugarcoat how radical their faith is anymore. And still, so many people join their ranks. It's fucking insane. But then again, I guess that's religion for you. Don't think for yourself anymore. Let someone else do it for you. At least it was for my brother.
You have a brother? I suppose we're going to actually be asking this in the next episode, and we're going to conclude this conversation as we head on to complete the next stage of the main quest as well. So, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.